welcome to the 2019 Ultimate Blogging and Work From Home Summit. My name is Monique, and you can find me at doityourselfprintables.com. And today we're going to discuss how to create Drool-Worthy printables in PowerPoint. Okay, so why do we even want to create our own printables? We want to be able to attract our ideal customers or readers if you're a blogger. They're actually quite easy to create once you get the hang of things. They don't take very long to do so. And you can design them to suit our audience, right? So if we have, and we can add our own branding. So if we have a very, feminine kind of brand, we can spice it up and snazz it up how we want to attract the readers that are going to be, who know who we are, right? And then they see that style and they're like, hey, you know what? That Monique does that. She shares this. I have to click on this. I have to buy this from her. So it allows you to create your own branding and infuse your own style into your products that, you wouldn't be able to have if you don't know how, right? If you create something that's like a boring, black and white thing in Word and it's just text, they don't get to see that style, right? And let's face it, everyone wants a really pretty printable to print out. Like, I like using them. If they're prettier, I print them out and your readers are going to do the same. Okay, so if you can use them to build an audience or a community. You can survey your audience first, which is the best, to figure out what exactly is it that they're struggling with, what is it that they're looking for, so that you can figure out what you can create, right? This will help you serve your audience. You're going to solve a problem for them, right? Don't think of it as a printable. Think of it, how can this printable help them solve a problem, right? If I don't know how to meal plan and I have no idea where to start, maybe you have a printable that shows them how can they set up their grocery list, and then how they can schedule their entire week with healthy and frugal meals, whatever it is that you share your knowledge and your passion. It can be infused into the worksheet or printable itself. Then as people use your products, they're like, hey, have you seen this? Like they share your resource with others and you become a trusted authority. So why PowerPoint? If you're a PC user, you most likely already downloaded it on your computer, which is super helpful because it might already be there and ready for you to use. If you don't have it, it can be purchased for a low monthly subscription. There's also the option to purchase it for a one-time pricing. And it's fairly reasonable. I do prefer, and I can use it offline. So I do prefer to have a copy of it just because I'm not always working when I have internet connection, and I don't want it to be relied on that, right? Like, it's on my computer, all my files are saved in it, and then I can pull it up wherever I want, and when I can use it there. I'm not, beholden to Wi-Fi. What can we create? So we can create ebooks, workbooks, worksheets, pamphlets, wallets. So depending on what it is if you're a blogger, you can create like opt-ins and use them to gain email subscribers. If you're some kind of consultant or an MLM, maybe you want to have like a document for new people to start out that lists all their information and where they can go for resources and things like that you want to put, like a getting started guide or anything like that, right? You can create that in PowerPoint. It's super easy. So you might be really creative and want to create your own wall art or printable, or maybe you create printables that, like for, labels or things that you're canning or things that you're selling, your own do-it-yourself products that you sell at a market or things like that. You can do that in PowerPoint and style it in there and print it out to use for your own products. Okay, so in order for us to create things that we want, printables in PowerPoint, there are different sites that you can use to find vector images. This includes like this floral design on the border of my slides I got from Deposit Photos. So there's free sites like Pixabay and others that you can use. You just want to make sure that you look at the licensing. If it can be used for commercial products, then if it is, then it's something that you can use. Obviously, you here because you're creating things that you want to use in your business, so it is a commercial venture. So I have Deposit Photos myself because I have I got the special. The AppSumo is a deal site, and every few months or they sell a package of like $49 for 100 credits for Deposit Photos, which is a really good deal. So if you ever see that pop up, then grab it for sure. Pixabay is a free site, and there are others, but of the quality and what you find isn't going to be as plentiful as if you use a paid source, which is why I like Deposit Photos. Okay, so I'm going to show you the process of how we can get our vector images ready so that we can create one of these daily to-do list printables. And this is just an example, right? Like you can easily modify this to-do list to turn it into a calendar, a weekly to-do list, a checklist, anything that you want. So I just wanted to bring everything together. So we'll create the template, and then I'll show you two different ways of how you can style it using the same template. So we're going to head over into Pixlr, which is a photo editor, so that we can get our vector images ready for us to use first. Okay, so this is Pixlr.com, and we're using the editor right now. It has to have Adobe Flash for it to run. I'm guessing they're phasing that out. There is another Pixlr editor that you can use. So this is the older version. Still works great. So I'm going to open an image from my computer, and it is the vector images that I've pulled off Deposit Photos. So we'll go through and do this one first. Okay, so this is the graphic that I want to use in my printable to just, decorate what I've created. I cannot use it like this. You cannot use it like this. So we have to get it ready. So we're going to cut out the individual elements here and have them stand alone as their own image as a ping file. We don't want the white background there, so we're going to remove that. So I'll show you in this process and how we get this done. Okay, so first, looking at this program, it's functions kind of like Photoshop. It's the closest that I've seen to a free tool that does so. So it works in layers. So right now the background layer, which is the image, is locked, and we need to unlock that. So you can double click on that. We're going to go to our magic wand tool. There's also a magic wand tool in Photoshop, and it does this exact job. And we're going to click on the white. My computer lags a little bit, so it will lag here. And then, so I want to click on the white. It highlights all the colors that you click on. So because I clicked on the white, it'll get to all the white, and then we're going to hit delete. And that means that the background, that white background, is no longer there. Okay, so I'm gonna go to, where is it? So edit and then deselect, because I've highlighted everything when I use the wand, and I don't want it highlighted anymore. And I want to start cutting out these images here, right? So I'm gonna go like this, and then I want to crop that out, and then I want to save that. Okay, and then I want to save this, save, and then you can see if I save as a JPEG, it will save it with that white border around the outside. I don't want that. So I want to save it as a transparent. This is also a higher quality size as well. And you'll notice, so my JPEG, if I wasn't using it for a printable, if I was just saving it for a graphic to use online, the size is only 66 KB, and then when I switch it to ping file, it increases that. We want the higher quality one, and it's also transparent, and that's what we want. So we're going to hit OK, and we're going to save it to wherever we want it. I've already done this, And then I'm gonna hit OK, it's saved. And then I don't want to lose what I just did with the rest of my photos, so I'm gonna hit Control Z, and it brings back everything else. Okay, so these hearts are pretty easy. Like you can just go like that. You can go like that. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted like just one heart, so I just did this too, is what you saw. Okay, and then when you go here, you'll notice that it grabs part of the other image too, and we don't want that, right? So we're gonna come here. So we did image and then we cropped it. We're gonna go to our eraser tool, which shows up super small. It's gonna take me forever. So I wanna increase the brush size, 100, no, 200, and then erase this. Okay, because I don't want that. I want to be able to use this image alone, and then I'm going to hit File, Save, Remember, and then change this to Ping, and then save that. I'm just not going to do it. I've already done it. Okay, so imagine that I've saved it, and then I don't need this anymore, so I'm still going to hit Control Z, Control Z again. So I want to get back to my image here, and then I'm going to do the same thing for this image. So image, crop, grab my eraser, and get these edges cleaned up, and then save that again. Okay, so I think the other images are the same, the ones that I chose. This one. So if you can find graphics where everything is neatly laid out in a column, we can do the same thing. So again, background comes off, magic wand tool, okay, and then you repeat the process. Okay, image, crop, and then File, Save, and then for changes to Ping, and then save, and go through each of the 4 pictures, and then Control Z, and then do the same for the other 3. Okay, I think you guys get it. We're like a pro now, so let's jump over to PowerPoint. Okay, so we're in PowerPoint. My version is the 2013 version. Yours, well, if you're paying for a subscription, it will be the newer, but you should be able to follow me along and do exactly what I'm doing on your version as well. Okay, so this is what we're going to create, a daily to-do list, and I'm going to pull up a new slide so you can see. Okay, and before we go all into that, when you open up a new program, let's just go new and a blank presentation. You need to, is it this one? Slide size. Okay, we need to change the orientation of it because it's in portrait mode and we don't want that. It's in landscape. It's in landscape and we want the portrait version, right? And you can choose here if you want A4 paper or whatever size that you want. I'm going to maximize and then it'll change it for you. Okay, so now that we know how to change the size of the slide, we can get started. So we're going to put in our title. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so I want to expand my text box here so that I can center my text, and then I know that it's right in the center of the slide, and I don't have to worry about moving it around or positioning it. And then I'm going to create my lines here first for the dates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to turn on my guides here, my grid lines. Nope, my guides. I like to have this on. You can have all of these things on if you like. If it helps you in spacing out your elements or design, I just prefer to have my guides on. I don't need anything else there. Okay, so let's do that. I'm gonna home, and then I want to create a line. Okay, so if I go across and I clicked and I'm dragging, it will go in whichever direction that it goes to, and we don't want that. So I'm gonna click. Sorry, I'm gonna click and hold down Shift at the same time so that I can pull it across. And I didn't click my line element. So click Shift and then drag it across so it comes across here. Okay, and I'm gonna go to here. So you'll notice that it's kind of like a blue color. I don't want that. I'm gonna make it just a black for now. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna make it black for now. And here you also have the other tools here. The weight, if that's fine, it looks good. I want to change it to dashes rather than just having it a straight line. Not sure if that's the one I wanted though. I kind of like that one better. Okay, and then so I'm going to need 6 of these, and I want them all to look uniform. So if I'm happy with where this is and how long this is, and it's fine for me at the moment, I'm going to hit Control C. I have this element selected already. I'm going to hit Control C to copy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to want these lined up like here. So I want the first one here to be where I want it to be. Like this is the highest point, and then I have room here to write in my text for Monday. And then I want this to be at the lowest point, and I need room to be able to write in here. So maybe this is the lowest point here. So I'm not worried about the ones that are in between because there's a pretty cool tool. So I've highlighted this one. You can see that the square on the ends are there to show that's in highlight. I'm going to hold down Shift, and I'm going to click on all of these lines. Okay, and then I'm going to go to Arrange, Align, Center, Arrange, Align, Distribute Vertically. Okay, then I'm going to group this so I can move this where I want it. And if I'm happy or unhappy, I can actually still pull on this and it will be equal distance from each other, which I really like. So it allows you to play with that, and I could shrink this down if I wanted to, if I wasn't happy with how that was looking. I'm okay with how it is now. I'm going to create this box here, which is a square. Okay, so again, if I open this without hitting anything, it'll create an irregular shape, and I don't want that. So I'm going to hit the square, I'm going to hold down Shift when I click, and it will make a perfect square. I do want that perfect square. Okay, and then move this to the center, and you want to keep away from the margins because not all printers print all the way to the border, right? Just think of your own printer. And here's your tools, and I want it to be white inside. And then I tell you why. I would prefer to have it white rather than no fill. If I choose no fill and it has an outline and I want to move it, see, it doesn't grab it because there's nothing there, right? I have to always be clicking on the line in order to move it. So instead I choose to have it white inside, and then at least I can click in the middle or anywhere on the shape and be able to move it. So I want it to match my other lines here for the border. I'm gonna go weight, and I think it was this one. Ooh, let me see. It was half point, so I want it to match. I don't want it to look heavier than it does, and I'm gonna change it to a dashed line here. And the color, it looks kind of blue, so I'm gonna change it to black. Okay, and that box actually looks a lot bigger than the other one there. So maybe I didn't have a perfect square. That's okay. We can make it a little bit smaller here. Okay. And it's a little bit higher because it has a text inside. Okay. So notice how I want to build out my elements first and how I want my printable laid out. I'm not working about text or color or design or anything like that. I just want the framework of the actual printable first. So we're going to go for lines now to make the writing lines for this checkbox area here. So I'm holding shift, click, shift, and then dragging. I want to set this up how I would like it. Half point is fine. And then I want to choose black. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Control C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I move this down here to the lowest point that I want it. I'm gonna need room to be able to write some text on there. So maybe I'll move that one down and this one's fine. So click on all these. I'm gonna hold down shift while I'm clicking these other ones as well. And then arrange, align, center, arrange, align, distribute vertically. I'm gonna group that right away so I can move this around. And you just want to think about, is there enough room for somebody to write in there if I printed it out? And it looks good. So I'm happy with how it is. Like I could shorten that up a bit. And move it down a bit. Okay. Then I worry about the circles there, because I want to have everything lined up how I want it to be first before I worry about adding these little things in. So again, if I'm not holding shift, this is what happens. If I hold down shift, then I get a perfect circle. Okay, so it's this ugly blue. Again, I'm going to choose white. And the outline, I'm going to choose black. And I don't want it to be heavier, because that's a 1 point. And if you see it, it looks really dark. So I want it to match what I already have here. And I want it to be able available on each check. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Control C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I already have the first one where I want it. I want to move the last one to be at the bottom, the height that I want it to be. Everything else will be in the middle of this. So then shift and click on all of these, which gets kind of tricky. So you just want to make sure you're clicking on all of them. Oops, arrange, align, center, arrange, align, distribute vertically. Gonna group these, then I can move them as needed. And I just want to make sure each line has a checkbox, and it does. Okay, so I'm happy with that, and then I can worry about my text. So in order to add text, you want to go to Insert and Text Box. And Monday. Okay, so I want to get this to the point where it's at a text that I want to use throughout the whole thing. Okay, and at the size that I want. I don't want to have to go through and change each element one by one. If I choose something here and then it's all of them, and then I'm like, you know what, I don't like this size, then you have to go and change all of them, and it's very tedious. So I just want to make sure that that's the right size and it looks fine. Okay, so when I'm happy with the font and the sizing, I can Control C, then Control V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then, so I want this to be at the lowest point, which would be here. And then I'm going to hit Shift and click on all these, which they're so close together now. Okay. That's not going to work. So Control C to undo that. I need to move these out. They're so close, I can't click on all of them, which is a pain. So click, shift, click, 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 and click. Same thing again, arrange, align, center, arrange, align, distribute vertically. Look how fast and pretty that did. So I want to hurry up and group this so I don't move anything, and then move it to the position that I want. And then I can go into each box and then change the wording on there, because even though it's group, you can still change them individually. Whoops. Wednesday. I always do that every time I spell that out. Thursday. Friday. Okay, and then what does it say? Priorities, and don't forget. Okay, so I can still Control C and Control V and copy that one element so I can move it here. And for this one, I actually want to pull it across the text box, and then I want to center that one because I don't want to guess where the middle is. And then I'm going to Control C and Control V and do the same thing. And if I didn't know what the middle is, you can see that guy line that shows what's in the middle of that square. And that's really helpful. Hey, and this I feel like maybe is squeezing down into my... I don't want it to be so high that it's like right here. It should be where this text is. Okay, so this on its own is my printable, and I'm going to change the font to what I'm actually using. Is it this one? No, this one. Okay. So this is my template. This is the point where I would save it. And here, if you have a template to go off of and you want to change it later, or you want to change colors, this is a good way to save you time later. So you have your own template. And then I would like file, save as, change the file name, and then design the other one. Okay, so that if I'm like, oh, you know what, I really like this printable, but I want to change it up, I want to, you know, add this, add that, then you can go back and open the template and just change that, but use that for your bases. If you've designed it already, you have to go in and delete all your design elements. It's just a pain. So if you have templates that are ready to go, it's a lot easier. Okay, so we're going to style this in like 2 different ways. And we're going to go like this first. Okay. It's simple. Like, I don't want you to go overboard and feel like you need to throw in something everywhere. There are really, you want to look for ways that you can just add something subtle or just to highlight things without looking too crazy, right? And then I'm going to show you how to use the flowers that we have as well. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use this one that we used. Okay, so that's just a matter of going to insert pictures, and we did this, and we cut and pasted out those images, those vector images. And this is why we wanted the ping files, because we don't want that white border outline. And I can tell that's crooked just the way it's sitting. There you go. Shrink this down. We're going to put this under here, and I'm going to move this up. Again, we don't want to go all the way up to the top because it won't print all the way to the edge. Any printers really. And I don't want it to be overpowering. I don't want it to overtake the whole worksheet. Or printable. Then we'll go insert and see, which one is that one? This one. Okay, so it's like this, bigger. Okay, so I want to still be able to write in the box here, which is why I have it set like this, and it's actually blocked out. If I do it like this, it looks okay, but I'm not a fan. I want the writing space. So what you would do is go home, create a rectangle, and have it to the height that you want. We're going to change this to I don't want any outline, and I want it just to be white. Okay, so think of it as in layers. We added the lines, we added the photo, and then we added the square. So that's why the square is on top. So we're going to send this, right click, send to the back, and then right click, send this to the back underneath it. And that's how you get it like that. So I want the room to write there, which is why we've done it this way. So the same thing, we're going to add an design element down here. And then, but I still want to have room to write. Like I don't want a giant floral print there. So I'm going to add my rectangle. I'm like, you know, that's enough room to write. And however, so I don't want an outline. And then I'm going to make it white. I'm going to move it down a smudge because it's blocking my dotted line on top. Okay, and then I'm going to insert that image. Shrink this down. Rotate. And I want to see it from underneath without looking super scary. Okay, so I want it, I can make it a little bit bigger if I wanted to. That's kind of too big, it's cutting into my circle. That's okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, and I still have room to write, but there's still, you know, a little bit of design element in here. Okay, so let's do this again. Instead, and I'll show you how I did this one. When you want to play around with color, you want to use the colors of the vector images that you have in there. You don't want to choose random colors and then it looks like it's not coordinated. So let's do this. So I don't want to worry about color yet until I get all my floral design elements. I'm just going to pull this. I'm going to be on this, but I want to see what I did. Okay, so I'm going to insert an image, my 3 hearts here, because I felt like 3 was a good number. 4 would have been too much. And then this flower. I feel like it's this flower. But see, it doesn't sit properly on that. And I think I turned it over like this or something. And then you can shrink it down. And we're going to send that to the back. And our text box, see, was white anyway, so we didn't have to worry about that, or else we would have had to change it. Okay, so it's a little bit smaller. We don't want it to interfere with the text where you can't read things. Okay, and then this one down here. Okay, so to get this transparent thing happening on with this printable, you can't just add it straight away. So what you have to do is add a shape. So just a circle or a rectangle, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna right click and then I want to format the shape. Go to fill. I want to fill it with a picture instead. And then I'm going to choose this picture. And I'm going to assume it's the other flower. Notice the outline on there. I don't want an outline here, and that might be this, so no line. Okay, and then I'm going to rotate it and choose the sizing. I think it's a little bit bigger. Because it goes into the X. Okay. And because my circle was weird shape, that's why it looks like that. But I'm not worried. Okay, and then back to this fill. Here we have the setting to increase or decrease its transparency, and that's what we want to do. And there's a little bit of a lag, but I want to be able to write on top of it. I want it to be a decorative feature and not like, oh no, what is that? And then I can't write on top. So 90 is good, I feel like. Nope. It stopped at 97. Okay, 88. 88 is good. Okay, so now that I have all my design elements, I'm happy. I don't want to go crazy. Remember, let's choose some colors here. So for my circles, I can change this color. Going to shape outline. I can grab my eyedropper and I can choose like one of these colors here, and it'll change all the circles at the same time. Isn't that easy? That's why we group them. I love that. Okay, so same here. Instead of, this is text, it's not a shape. So then we go to our text colors, and I've already gone through and I picked like this blue from the leaf here, right? And then because our things are grouped together, we can change the color from the font. And I think it was a pink. I want to say it was pink, but I'm not. It's not pink. Oh, I kept it gray and my lines are red. Okay, got it. Alright. I went with not pink, but so I want to highlight. So because I had highlighted this on Monday and didn't highlight the whole group, so I want to highlight the whole group, and I want to change this to a dark gray, like this gray, and then I'll change the text there. Actually, I don't like that gray. Maybe a lighter gray. Okay, yeah, I like that gray. So then I can go into all of my other and just click on that text color because I've already used it. And then I want to click on the lines here. And then I chose, that's the shape outline. And then I chose the pink, right? And I want it to match here. And then the outline on this square, I want it to be pink as well. Okay, just so that we all match everywhere. And I don't think I grabbed all of that. Did I not do all of that? Yeah. Okay, there you go. So there you have it. There are two ways that you can create a printable, a daily to-do list using a template and then decorating it with like a black and white pattern. So that would be something that would be good for someone who didn't have a color printer. They wanted a black and white option. And then here you have a colored option, right? Because not everyone's going to print out in color, but if they do, it would look so pretty. You obviously want to stay away from very light colors like yellow. It's just not going to print out very well. You won't be able to see it. I do like using a dark gray, preferable when I'm doing color printables. I like using dark gray in my text rather than black because black looks really harsh. So in order to save this, we'd go File. You can save as a PDF here. And I didn't save it before, that's why it's asking me to do that. Oops, not options. And then save. So there, that was how we create a printable, and then we saved it as a PDF. So now I can pull up my printable as a PDF file, and obviously it saved every single one of my slides. And I had 6 slides, so just so you can see, and this is how you want to save and deliver it to your customers or to print it out, because none of the elements can move, like no one can change anything, and then it'll print out exactly the same for everybody who downloads it. One thing I would add though, which we didn't do, is you want to add your logo or your watermark or your website. If it's something that you're sharing with a whole lot of people or that might be shared with others, you want to be able to add your own branding to that to ensure people know it's from you. And or if they got it or someone shared it with them, like, where did I get this from? Then your name or your logo is there and it will be recognizable. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and I hope you have the confidence to go forward and create your own printables. Take a look at my other sessions on how you can use your printables to grow your email list. And if you need help on showing off your printables and how to create social media graphics, then I have a session on that too. I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks.